what should the Filipino Chinese do?
The organizations, their individuals, their leaders, the major figures in Philippine society and culture should be proactive and seek to gain the understanding of China and to represent the Chinese as the Filipino people and society. They don't have to represent the government, but they do need to represent themselves and their interests.
Why?
Because these are people that the Chinese government will listen to, even if they are not members of the government, and even if the Chinese side is not members of the Chinese government, just as people to people, but special people, not just ordinary people, because they are, after all, Chinese too.
What in the Chinese psyche makes them tend to listen to the Filipino Chinese?
To Filipino Chinese, they listen to Chinese. As I said, they are ethnocentric because they think the Filipino Chinese will understand them also, because they are part Chinese or fully Chinese. But in any case, they are Chinese, so they'll understand. The Chinese people very often think that Westerners, foreigners, don't understand them because, well, they're Chinese. They're different. So if other Chinese are talking to them, and in particular Asian Chinese, as in Filipino Chinese, as opposed to, say, American Chinese, you know that the Chinese people have a difficult time ever since the opening up of China. They have a hard time understanding American Chinese, for example. They don't think the American Chinese understand them.
Why would they?
Because they're Americans. Because they're different.
What makes a Filipino Chinese different?
Well, they're still Asian. Even I understand the issue itself as why Filipinos sometimes people say Filipino Chinese are not Chinese, they're not Asian, or Filipinos are not Asian. This is partly true, but not entirely true. And moreover, they are closer at hand. So it's like, how to say, Singaporean Chinese are also not very Chinese in many ways, but in other ways very Chinese. So they're more familiar, and therefore will be more understanding. But the difference between somebody from Singapore dealing with Chinese from the mainland and those who deal with, let's say, people from Yunnan dealing with people from Beijing, very similar. The issue, they don't always understand one another because they come from different cultural and environmental contexts.